Who wins? 1 or 2?
Two.
Two, of course.
Obviously two.
Okay. 1 or 2?
Two.
Are y'all stupid? Two.
Two
Of
wipes.
course it's two. Come on.
Gotcha. Now, 1 or 2?
Of course it's
He's
one.
weak to Krypton destroyers. He's the GOAT.
This is ridiculous. What's wrong with you? Batman is arguably the most popular fictional character in the modern age. With that comes a lot of Batman fans. Some are cool, some are not so cool, and unfortunately, some are power scalers, the worst kind of quote-unquote fan. If you've interacted with these guys on social media, you might see the age-old comic shop argument modernized of who would win in a fight, whether it be Captain America versus Black Panther, Spider-Man versus Wolverine, and Batman versus literally anyone. When it comes to most superheroes, people are pretty rational in terms of arguing. We all know their strengths and weaknesses, we can use logic to figure out potential fights, and we don't take shit out of context. Heavy on the last one. When it comes to Batman, however, people will jump through all sorts of hoops just to explain why their favorite guy gets to win. This leads a lot of people to use cool moments in the comics where Batman does some badass shit, like falling from the moon, and add that to his core character, instead of appreciating the moment for what it is. Suddenly, someone who is peak human has better strength feats than metahumans, dodges lasers faster than speedsters, and has the durability to survive a fall of 200,000 miles. This makes Batman an unkillable god and incredibly boring. The whole reason why people love him is that he's human, and iterations like Batman show you his vulnerability very well. They also show his strengths incredibly well. The Batman does a great job emphasizing his detective skills as his main thing. A character who's like a specialized tool is far more interesting to read than some fanfic protagonist who has the thickest of plot armor. The point I'm trying to make is Batman shouldn't be the best at everything. Power scalers have spread the word that Batman is the strongest being, the most talented fighter. I've seen people even talk about his speed in terms of Speed Force because of this one moment in a DC animated film. Crazy. It seems like people forget that Batman is a human being, and you all know the age-old adage, jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. You have to choose as a human in life with a finite time, energy, and willpower what you want to be good at. That's what's cool about Batman is that he spends all of his time trying to be great in all these categories, and he persists even if he's outmatched. However, if you split 10,000 hours, which is a good benchmark for mastery of something 10 different ways, suddenly you're 9,000 short in each skill, which is still good, but not the best. For most of these fans who detest anyone announcing the power scaling nonsense, they only read Batman. They forget he lives in a DC shared universe, with people like Brainiac, Mr. Terrific, and Lex to challenge his intellect, Karate Kid, Cassandra Cain, and Black Canary to challenge his combat, and the entirety of the JLU to challenge everything else. When you put Batman in a shared universe, something must stand out, and that something should be his detective skills. Between him, Detective Champ, and the Question, they should be the best detectives in the DCU. While characters like Martian Manhunter and Superman can also use detective skills, it should be a secondary or tertiary trait. Having limits like this is what makes stories interesting. Reading about a peak human must emphasize the human. Batman persisting when he's outmatched in his strength to kill Croc, or being outfought by Lady Shiva, or being outplanned by Riddler, it's cool to see because while they falter in willpower and drive, he doesn't. He has a human spirit driving him to save as many lives as possible. However, when power scalers read these stories, they simply see him beat someone and automatically assume that puts him over everyone. If Batman sucker punched Wonder Woman, they would unironically say that this proves Batman wipes the floor with Diana and combat skills. While we understand the JLU is not to be messed with, my biggest issue lies with how people look at the Bat family. The Bat family is either your favorite thing about Batman, or you barely know anything about it. Personally, I'm a Nightwing and Oracle kind of guy, but I love all of them, even people like Ghostmaker and Azrael. However, when we discuss what makes them powerful, we have two entirely different camps. We have one group who admires their strengths and weaknesses, what makes one better at something than the other. We respect their differences and similarities alike. We have Tim as the best detective, Cassandra being the best fighter, and Dick being the best leader, and Batman being the jack of all trades who taught them everything. Then there's the other group, who thinks Batman is so much better at everything. This type of comic book fan is someone who's only seen the movies and panels posted to TikTok and has made up in their mind that no one else has feats like that. Batman is the only one. It creates this strange made-up Bat family in their mind where Batman seems like a bad mentor. If you think about it like this, how is it that Batman takes in all these kids as his own, trains them up as hard as he can, pouring thousands of hours he learned from the best around the world, and none of them are as good or better than him at anything? That's some bullshit. Either he trained his kids to the best of his ability so they're nearly as strong as he is, or he purposely handicapped them, which makes him a bad dad. Here's a thing that real comic fans understand, is that writers suck sometimes, and write some bullshit. The most abused Bat Family issue is Batman 137, where because of some idiotic plot run by Chip Zdarsky, the Bat Family turns on Batman to let Selina and her goons rob people. I can forgive you if you can't forget that synopsis for a moment and pay attention to what happens here. It's a very dumb story. In about 4 pages, Batman beats the Bat Family as if they are nothing. While I can understand the logic of the teacher knowing the students' moves, I wish I could have seen them fight back harder. I mean, they are jumping him. This kind of moment in comics feels like the source of all power scaling issues, where in Batman comic, Batman wins, no matter what. And that sucks so bad. Even when they have some permanent damage, like him losing a hand, the monthly cycle forbids it and gives him a replacement hand. At the end of the day, the writer wants to appease this type of fan because they are the ones that buy comics in droves, and if Batman loses to someone they think he shouldn't, they'll stop reading. Batman being the best at everything is bad writing and good business, because the more popular a character is, the more he has to win. If you look at the inverse, for more obscure characters like Adam Strange, DC is cool with Tom King writing a book completely destroying his character, making him out to be a genocidal maniac, when he was once a Silver Age explorer. While I love that book so much, they would never let him touch Batman the same way. Popularity, at the end of the day, is plot armor. That's how comics are. This isn't like anime, where no matter how much people like Zoro more than Luffy, he still isn't stronger than him. I'm not here to complain about Western comics, I do love reading these, and most of the more recent ones are amazing. Shout out to the Absolute and Ultimate universes. However, I wish we as fans could come together and admit that some characters are not like that, but are a victim of bad writing and popularity contests. Let me know what you guys think. FYI, I do love Batman, I read all the time, but I read other comics too, so I get tired of these shenanigans. Peace out.